In today's video, Landspeeders and Speeder Bikes race to the death in a space opera-inspired scenario for Gaslands, the game of post-apocalyptic vehicular combat. Well, hey folks, it's Lee from SkirmishWargames.com. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be playing another game of Gaslands, the game of post-apocalyptic vehicular combat from Osprey Wargames. One of the neat things about Gaslands is that it lends itself to a variety of different types of races. So for example, today, instead of using ground-based vehicles, we're going to do a Landspeeder race using some weaponized Landspeeders based in an alternate universe in a galaxy far, far away. Here we have Duke Carbiner and his overclocked astromech Tweaky, and they're going to be racing against Captain Stern and Bad Wookie. The way we're doing it today is these guys only have to circle the track once. If they survive, the Landspeeder that crosses the finish line first is the winner. And to make things a little bit more interesting, each Landspeeder is going to be supported by a pair of speeder bikes, so 4 in total. They're starting off on another part of the track, and they're just here to cause mischief. They can't necessarily win the race, but if both Landspeeders are destroyed, then the last remaining bike will be the winner by default. Both the Landspeeders in this race are pretty much equivalent with a couple of minor variations. Some of the weapons we're using are from the expansion, so they're not in the regular rulebook, but you can get it for free with the expansion PDF. So Duke Carbiner and Tweaky, they basically have a middleweight car with a combat laser, so it's a 3d6 double range burst weapon. Plus they also have the loader perk, which means that if Duke and Tweaky operate the laser weapon at the same time, they get a +1 on their to hit rolls. Captain Stern and Bad Wookie unfortunately do not have the loader perk, but they do have a rifle, which Bad Wookie is wielding. So instead of his regular hand weapon, he can use the rifle and get a double range attack rather than just a medium range attack. So each team has 2 speeder bikes, as we mentioned before, and they're armed a little bit differently. So we have Leaf and Mud. They are on Team Rebel. They're working with Duke and Tweaky, and they each have speeder bikes with forward-facing blaster rifles, basically machine guns, aka machine guns. These 2 pirates here are working with Captain Stern. This is Scrappy right here. She's got a rear-facing mine dropper. And then this is Beldar. He has a forward-facing death ray, which is a one-shot weapon that has a small chance, but a small one, of vaporizing the enemy opponent if he can get 5 unanswered hits after rolling 3 dice. So that's a tall order. But anyway, it might make for a spectacular explosion, or vaporization, or molecular discombobulation. Okay, so what's going to happen is the Landspeeders are going to take off. They're going to race around the track. They have to hit all 4 checkpoints, all 4 corners, kind of race around the track. They can veer off of it if they want to, but that's going to prevent them from winning it the normal way. Meanwhile, the bikes are going to be going wherever they want to and trying to cause as much mischief as possible. Well, also, we got a few other little rules in here that we're going to be incorporating. We'll just explain as we go. In the meantime, let's go ahead and do our mashup of the Mouse House's favorite space opera and some post-apocalyptic vehicular combat and see how it all works out. All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so you are playing Carbiner.
Yes.
I can never get that right. And I'm playing Captain Stern. Let's go ahead and roll for pole position. 5, 2, so you have pole position. Okay, so your first activation is going to be?
Duke Carbiner. And one thing to keep in mind is no weapons are active until 1 car goes through the first checkpoint. Yeah,
that's a good point. Thanks for bringing that up. We do have the first checkpoint here, and the way this game works is as soon as one vehicle, it doesn't matter which one, I'm going to stand this Jawa up. He's falling down on the job. As soon as one vehicle pokes his nose across that line here by the sentry robot, then all the guns on all the different vehicles go active. And since we're talking about Jawas and sand people, these are going to count as 1-point hazards. If a car hits them, it's 1 hazard. If a bike hits them, though, it's 2 hazards. So if your template overlaps, even if you don't hit them head on, then that's 2 hazards. So watch out for those Tusken Raiders. So we start by picking your first template and placing your first template and then rolling some skid dice.
So Duke Carbiner and Tweaky are in gear 1 because we haven't done anything yet and they have no hazards. Going to do a medium straight. And we're lining up from the front of the vehicle.
Yeah, because they're on circular bases, the Landspeeders, we're going to line up from the front and the rear as best we can. The bikes, it's a little bit easier to use the bases, so that's what we're going to be doing with those.
So he has handling of 3, and with the medium template, he gets 1 free shift. And he'll roll all 3. And he got a shift, a shift, a slide, and a spin. Since I already have the shift, I think I'll keep the spin, get rid of the slide, and
shift up.
Gear, shift up 1 gear.
Okay, so that's 2 hazards.
Okay.
Okay, and then attack step. There's no one really to shoot at yet, and
Well,
you haven't crossed the line, so.
So no shooting, and we didn't crash into anyone.
Okay. Okay, for my first activation, I'm going to activate Scrappy, because she's on a bike. She can actually pivot. Maybe I'll do that just for the heck of it, just because it's a freebie. With a bike, you can go full throttle, but I think I'm going to go just a medium straight.
And since you're using a medium, you get 1 free shift.
All right.
And what's your handling on that guy?
Handling is 5.
So if you want to use 5, you can.
Right.
So you get 4 shifts.
I'm going to keep a spin. I'm going to keep that spin. I'm going to get rid of this one.
Okay.
I am going to shift up once to gear 2 and then call that good. So that would put Scrappy at 2 hazards, right?
Yep.
And she's going to move that way and then spin like so. All right, who's next?
Gonna move Leaf.
That's this guy here. So he's just starting out, no hazards.
So
first
gear 1, yeah. I think we're gonna do a gentle turn. So he gets 1 free shift, and he is also 5 in handling.
Okay.
I got a spin and 2 slides. I'm going to get rid of the 2 slides, keep the spin, and gear up to 2 and take 1 hazard.
All right.
Or that'll be 2 hazards. That'll be 2 hazards.
Are you ramming?
Looks like
Inadvertently?
I did.
Okay.
Yes, it looks like I am.
Okay, well, that's an interesting situation. I'm in gear 2. You're in gear 2. In the FAQ now it says that in a tailgate situation, it's the faster participant's current gear minus the slower participant's current gear. So that's 2 minus 2, that's 0.
So we get no dice.
So we get no dice.
We just take 2 hazards.
We just take 2 hazards, unless we both want to evade, in which case it would just be 1 hazard each.
We probably should both evade.
Okay, let's make an agreement that was... If damage was involved, that would be different, but since there's no damage...
Do we have to roll to evade?
Nope. No, we just both evade, so we each take 1 hazard.
Okay.
Had one of us been going a little bit faster...
Then it would have been different.
Then, yeah. Scrappy is at 3 hazards. How many does Leaf have?
Leaf is at 3 hazards.
Okay, so they're getting off to a wobbly start here. Okay, so the next one to activate...
Is you.
Okay, so Captain Stern, I think, is just going to go play it safe and do a medium straight.
Get 1 free shift.
All right.
What's his handling?
3. Spin, shift, hazard.
You have 2 shifts, so if
I
you want
do.
to get rid of them.
So I think what we're going to do is get rid of the hazard, keep the spin, so that's 1 hazard, and shift up to 2. So that's 2 hazards.
And how is he going to spin?
Just ever so slightly that way. All right, so I suppose it's Mud, right?
Mm-hmm. And Mud is going to pivot.
Because he's a bike. He's in gear 1. He can pivot up to 360 degrees at the beginning of his activation.
And I think he's going to do the medium straight. And he's got a handling of 5, and he gets 1 free shift. So he's going to get rid of the spin and the slide and shift up to gear 3 and take 2 hazards.
Your name is Mud.
Yes.
Okay, mustn't forget about Beldar, and I think he's going to follow your example. That was a great idea. So we are going to pivot at the beginning of our activation. He's going to go ahead and do a short straight. So that gives him 1. Roll his 5 dice. Slide, hazard, spin, shift, shift. Shift. So we're going to get rid of the hazard. I don't think I want the slide. I'll get rid of the slide. We'll keep the spin, and we will gear up 1. So that's 2 hazards. Puts him at gear 2. And he is actually, I think that's called a swoop. Everyone else is on speeder bikes. I don't know what Scrappy's tug is there, but these 2 rebels, Mud and Leaf, are on speeder bikes. He's on a swoop, and then she's on an airport tug, I guess. All right, is that gear 1?
That is gear 1. So now we go to gear 2.
And all of my people are in gear 2.
I have 1 in gear 3.
Okay, Mud is in gear 3.
Mm-hmm.
Coming around behind the Landspeeders.
Mm-hmm. I think he's going to do a swerve. So he doesn't get any bonuses and he doesn't get any hazards for that one.
Right.
But I will roll 5 dice. So we got 3 shifts, 4 shifts, and a hazard. So we'll go spin. We're going to get rid of the hazard for sure. I'm going to get rid of 1 hazard that I have. That'll bring me down to 1.
I'm going to mark Mud since he's moving, so we can keep track of who moved.
Actually, I'm going to get rid of 2 hazards and keep the spin. So he'll be at 1 hazard after that.
Okay.
And he's going to do a spin at the end there. He's facing that way, so we're just going
to line up.
Line up.
So Mud is in gear 3,
Mm-hmm.
1 hazard,
Mm-hmm.
so he gets to move next activation. All right, I think it's time to move Captain Stern. So we're going to do the ubiquitous medium straight. Yeah, it looks like he's going to kind of cut you off there a little bit.
Yep, 1 medium straight, so you get a free shift.
3 shift dice. Skid check. Shift, shift, hazard. So get rid of that hazard. And Captain Stern is currently in gear 2 with 2 hazards. So I'm going to gear up 1 and get rid of a hazard.
Okay.
Which leaves me at 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gives you a wash.
It's a wash. But that would put him at gear 3. All right, so we're still in gear 2. Who's next on your activation list?
It's going to be Duke.
Duke. You're the Duke.
I think no matter what I'm going to do, I'm going to run into you. So I may as well do a medium.
Okay.
So I get an extra shift.
Okay.
You're gear 3, right?
I am.
Okay. So I get a free shift. Chink. Three slides. I think I will take a hazard
Push it.
and
Roll
push
again,
it.
huh?
Yeah. Which is much better. So get rid of 1 hazard.
Shift, shift.
Shift, shift, and hazard. So I've got 2 shifts. So I'm going to get rid of 1 hazard and gear up.
Okay.
So I'm at 3.
Okay. So now you're in gear 3, 3 hazards.
Yes.
Now worlds collide.
Yeah. So would you call that a side swipe?
T-bone or side swipe is attacker's current gear plus size modifier. We are the same size, so you have 3 dice.
Yeah.
I'm going to smash back with 3 dice.
Okay.
So 4, 5, or 6 to do some damage. 1.
Okay.
So Carbiner did 1 damage to Captain Stern. Captain Stern did 1 damage to Carbiner, and we both take 2 hazards. So that puts me at 4 hazards.
Puts me at 5.
And 1 hull point gone, so I'm down to 9 hull points. You proud of yourself?
Yes.
Okay, so there's Captain Stern and Carbiner, but Carbiner is at 5 hazards, so we need 1 more hazard. All right, so I think it's time to move Scrappy. Scrappy is currently right here in gear 2, 3 hazards. I think we're going to try a turn.
No bonuses, no hazards.
Right. Skid check with 5 dice. Shift, shift, spin, slide, spin. Okay, so we will get rid of that, get rid of that, keep the spin. So that's 1 hazard.
So how many hazards are you at now? 4?
So Scrappy would be, yes, at 4 hazards. There.
And use your spin.
And use my spin. Just kind of slightly skirt the wall, I guess.
So Leaf is in gear 2 with 3 hazards.
Everybody's just waiting for the guns to go active.
Mm-hmm. We're going to do a turn. No bonuses, no hazards. 3 shifts, 2 slides. We'll get rid of the 2 slides and gear up to gear 3. And that'll put Leaf at 4 hazards.
All right, so in gear 2, that just leaves Beldar, who is currently in gear 2 with 2 hazards. And he is going to go ahead and try, I believe, a turn. Okay, yeah, that may have been a little bit too sharp, so maybe a slide will get him out of trouble.
Yeah, a slide would be good.
A slide would be good.
One of the few times a slide would be good.
I don't know. This track is so narrow, but
you're on the widest part, I think.
We'll try it.
Yeah.
So there's my slide. Shift, shift, spin, shift. So
yeah, I have to kind of use your slide.
we'll get rid of that. We'll keep the slide. I might get rid of 1 hazard and shift up. So he is in gear 3, 3 hazards, and he's hoping that this slide template is going to get him out of trouble. And I think it might have.
Yeah. The one-time slide will work.
He was white knuckling it there for a minute. Okay.
So that's the end of gear 2.
So now we're heading into gear 3 of turn 1, and it looks like the various speeders and their biking companions are converging, and the guns are just about to go active. So we'll see what happens.
So Leaf is in gear 3 with 4 hazards.
I think he needs a couple of hazards. Lynn, is he a leaf on the wind?
Yes. So he's going to do a turn. No bonuses, no hazards.
All right.
We need lots of shifts.
Leaf, leaf, leaf. Skid, skid, skid.
Shift, shift, slide, slide, spin. I think I will take a hazard and re-roll those.
Okay, you're going to push it.
I'm going to push it. That puts him at 5 hazards. Well, that.
Ooh.
Well, we'll get rid of those 2. And we'll use a spin.
Which will put him at 6 hazards.
Which will put him at 6 hazards.
So he gets to do a wipeout test when that comes around. It happens.
Okay. So he's
You're going to make some Jawas very happy.
Can't attack yet, so wipe out.
All right. So roll equal to or over the vehicle's current gear to succeed. What gear are you in?
Oh, I just roll 1 dice. 3.
2.
So he flips.
So he flips. If a flip check is failed, you suffer 2 hits. You move medium straight. Well, he's closer to his friends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he moved medium straight.
Mm-hmm.
Reduce current gear to 1.
Mm-hmm.
Remove all hazard tokens.
Mm-hmm.
And then your opponent, that's me, gets to rotate the vehicle around its center point to any facing. Yeah, so it's going to be like that, but
Since he's in gear 1,
Since
I
he's in
can...
gear 1, you can pivot at the beginning of your next turn, so it's not the end of the world.
No, it's not.
I think Captain Stern, who is briefly in the lead here, he is sitting in gear 3. He has 4 hazards, and what should I do? I think it's time for a gentle turn. Does that look about right? Okay, so he's doing his gentle turn. He's going to roll his 3 skid dice. Shift, shift, shift. I'm going to remove 3 hazards with those 3 shifts, taking him down to 1 hazard, which actually is good for you because this makes the guns hot because I poked my nose across it.
You still get an attack phase, though.
I still do. So yeah, so I poked my nose across the sentry robot's line of death there. So everyone's guns are hot. His combat laser fires forward, but Bad Wookie does have a rifle. So he's going to take a pot shot with his 30-06. So that's just 1 die. I assume you're going to try to evade. I got to get a 4, 5, or 6. And I missed. Poing!
Okay.
All right, the next racer to move would be...
I'm going to move Mud.
Mud. What's he at right now?
He's in gear 3 with 1 hazard. I think we're going to do a medium straight. He gets 1 free shift.
Slide, slide, slide.
We're going to keep the shift, take 1 hazard.
Push it.
Got 2 more shifts. A spin and a slide. So we're going to get rid of the slide. We're going to keep the spin. We're going to get rid of 2 hazards.
Okay, so what'd you do there exactly?
I got rid of the slide.
Okay.
Got rid of 2 hazards, which brought me down to 0.
Right.
I'm going to gear up, which gives me a hazard. I'm going
Right.
to use the spin, which gives me
Okay.
a hazard. So that'll put me back at 2 hazards.
All right.
And
2
he'll be
hazards
in
in
gear
what gear?
4.
Gear 4. Wow. Okay.
And let's see if he's in range of you.
I'd say he's in range.
All right, we'll give it a shot.
The repeating blaster, aka the machine gun.
Yep, 2d6.
I'm in gear 3, so I'm going to evade with 3 dice.
Okay.
So 1 hit
Okay.
and no evades. So you hit him. He's down to 8. All right, Beldar on his swoop, I think, is going to activate next.
Okay.
And I think we're going to be looking at the gentle turn.
How many hazards does he have?
He's sitting comfortably at 3 hazards. Shift, 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 slide, spin. So get rid of the slide, get rid of the spin, get rid of 1 hazard. So that takes him down to 2. So that puts him in gear 3, 2 hazards. And hopefully lines him up for a kill shot. Does that look about right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm good. So he is going to unleash his Death Ray. It's a 1-shot weapon, 3 dice. If I do 5 points that are not blocked, I automize you. But that's very hard to do on 3 dice. But Beldar is going to fire the Death Ray right up the tailpipe of Duke and Tweaky.
And I get 3 dice, because I'm in gear 3.
Right. All right, Beldar. Big numbers. 1 hit. No, you didn't evade it. So 1. The Death Ray has been expended. Well, at least he did something. Now he's down to his hand weapon. He's down to his slingshot. All right, so Beldar fired the Death Ray weapon, the 1-shot potential molecular discombobulator at Duke and Tweaky, and did 1 point of damage, 1 whole point. Okay, so Duke Carbiner and Tweaky. So how many hazards does he have?
He is in gear 3 with 5 hazards.
Oh, all right. Living on the edge.
So he's going to veer. No bonuses, no hazards.
You might benefit from a spin. I don't know.
But first I got to get rid of some hazards.
All right. Shift, hazard, hazard.
I think I will take a hazard and re-roll.
Push it. That puts you at 6.
It does, so I need some big shifts.
Some juicy shifts.
3 shifts.
Shift, okay.
Okay, so he's going to get rid of 3 hazards.
All right, probably a wise idea.
Yeah, because I think I'm going into the wall, is my guess. Because I think I misjudged that a little. Am I in the wall or not quite? I will be next time.
No, I don't think you are.
Okay.
Let's see. It would be kind of like that. So right now you're not in the wall.
And I can use 2 pistols, right?
You can, absolutely. So that would be 2 dice.
Mm-hmm. And what gear are you in? 3? So you get to roll 3 dice.
I believe I'm in 3rd gear.
Yeah, you should be because you took your turn.
I'm in 3rd gear. So shoot your pistols. 1 hit. No evades. So you shot off a mirror. Well, you're whittling him down.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 3 hull points gone. He's got 7 left. Gear 3, 1 hazard.
So now we're going up to gear 4. So only one person in gear 4.
And his name is Mud.
He's going to do a medium straight.
All right.
Gets a free shift. Not when they come out like that, though.
What's that? Spin, spin.
3 spins.
Spin, hazard.
Hazard.
Oh, hazard, 1 shift.
We'll take 1 hazard, because he's only at 2 anyway. That brings him up to 3, and hopefully get some more shifts. So we got 5 shifts.
Oh, that's handy.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to get rid of our 3 hazards.
Okay, so you're going to clear your hazards and stay in 4th
Clear my
gear.
hazards and stay at 4. And shift down, actually.
Oh, okay.
And I'll take 1 hazard. So I'm at 1 hazard in gear 3. But I can shoot you.
Yeah. Okay, so Mud is unleashing his repeating blaster cannon, aka his machine gun, on Captain Stern. And that's 2 dice, and I get 3 in defense, 3 to evade, and 1 hit.
Yep.
You're chipping away at him, but he evaded.
Of course he did.
Of course he did.
Okay, so that is the end of
Turn 1.
turn 1.
Okay.
And we trade pole position to you.
Pole position. I'll cherish it forever.
So who are you going to move?
We're in turn 2, gear 1. So for my first activation, now that I have pole position, I'm going to activate Captain Stern. And I think we're going to try a regular turn and see how that works out.
And which gear are you in? 3?
He's in 3. And roll his skid check, 3 dice. Spin, slide, shift. Get rid of the slide and take the spin. So that would put him at 2 hazards. He's in the lead, but his guns are facing the wrong direction. So this is an issue. I could spin it. I'm not sure I want to too much. Maybe just a little bit. So Captain Stern is out of range, but Bad Wookie with the rifle is in range.
Because
So
he's got 360 on that.
Yeah, so he's going to take he basically just standing up on the side rails. He's going to take a pot shot with his 7mm Magnum deer rifle. What gear are you in?
3.
It's a hit. You need a 6. And you got it. Okay, so you evaded it. Well, that's Captain Stern. Stern! I think your next move should be to drive your Landspeeder here
Into the wall?
into the wall.
Well, that may just happen. I think the only thing I can really do is a hard turn and hope.
A hope and a prayer.
With a hard turn, I get a hazard, which puts him at 4. So that could be very bad.
I think you scraped the wall.
I think so too. Well, spin's not going to matter.
No, you want to just eliminate some hazards if you can.
So I'm going to take another hazard and re-roll. So that gives me a slide, which I'll get rid of, and I'll get rid of one hazard, which puts me down to 4. Then I stop.
Moves along the track.
So up to the wall, right there.
Right about there, do you think?
Yeah.
Boom. Okay, so you've sideswiped the wall, basically. What gear are you in?
3.
3. Okay. Size modifier, the wall is a heavyweight, you're a middleweight. That's +2 attack dice, so 5. For the wall. Can I be the wall?
You are the wall.
I am the wall. I am the walrus.
Oh, God.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because that's a 6.
Well, that's not looking good for me.
And you get 3 evade dice. And you got 1.
So 4.
Yeah. And 2 hazards. Attack step, you're touching an obstacle, so no attack step. Wipeout step. Make a flip check, so roll 1 die and get equal to or over the vehicles.
Yes.
Okay, you did it. So reduce current gear to 1. Remove all hazard tokens. And I would get to spin you, but it's no point because you're going to be able to kind of just drive out of it anyway. Okay, so how many hull points does Duke have left?
4.
Okay, so that was a mighty collision. Okay, well, one of the things bikes get to do is the full throttle. So it can move straight, long in any gear, no hazards. So that's what we're going to do.
But no bonuses either.
But no bonuses. Shift, shift, shift. We're going to get rid of those. And where's he at? He's in gear 3 already. 2 hazards. And I'm going to get rid of 1 hazard. Yeehaw.
So what are you going to do?
Well, for the attack step, I've fired my death ray cannon.
Yeah, so you have your little medium.
So he has his, well, all he's got is his pistol. Okay, so tell me what's going on. How many hull points does Mud have left?
Mud has 4.
And Leaf?
Has 2.
Okay. We're going to shoot at Leaf. What gear is Leaf in? 1.
1.
So that's a hit. And you evaded. You pivoted out of the way. All right, is it going to be Leaf or Mud?
It's going to be Leaf.
So what's Leaf going to do? He's going to pivot, right?
He's going to pivot. And he's going to do a short. So he gets 1 free shift. So we're going to take a hazard.
Spin, spin, hazard, hazard.
So he's got 1 hazard.
Push it, huh? Push away.
I'm going to keep the slide.
Oh yeah,
I'm going to keep the slide, get rid of 2 of those. Go up to gear 2, which gives him a hazard.
And then the slide gives him a hazard, so that's what, 3 hazards?
Yep.
Wow, but he slides all the way out there.
And he's going to shoot Beldar.
Not Beldar. Is he going to shoot his cone off?
I'm going to try.
Okay, so Leaf is opening fire on Beldar with his hand weapon, I guess, huh?
And
a 1, that's a miss.
Leaf is rather pathetic.
He didn't crash into the wall, though.
He's still very pathetic.
Okay. Okay, so the only one I have left is Scrappy here. Scrappy's in gear 2, has 4 hazards, so I think we're going to do a gentle turn. Like that. And try to clear some hazards. Let's see. Slide, shift, spin, hazard, slide.
Gonna take a hazard?
I'm gonna reroll some of that. I think though I got, because I'm only in gear 2, right?
Yep, Scrappy is in gear 2.
Okay, so she does get, fortunately,
A free shift.
a free shift from the maneuver, and I think then we're gonna take a hazard. Reroll these. Hope for better news. Spin, hazard, shift, shift. All right, we're going to get rid of those.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get rid of one shift, bring it down to 4, and another shift brings her down to 3 hazards.
Yes.
So, not very fancy, but at least she's not on the brink of destruction anymore. Still stuck in gear 2, still languishing in gear 2. Okay, so your final racer in this gear is mud, huh?
Mm-hmm. I think we're going to do a veer and hope we don't run into the wall, which we might.
It happens. But you could slide out of it.
All right. So we got a slide. I'm getting rid of the spin and getting rid of the hazard.
Okay.
And keeping the slide. So I take 1 hazard for the slide, so I'm up to 2. And that isn't going to be much better, I don't think. I mean, it'll keep me from running into the wall, but...
Yeah, you're all right. You can turn out of that.
So that is the end of gear 1.
That's the end of gear 1.
So
Moving
gear
on to gear
2.
2. Okay, so Carbiner doesn't get to go because he was only in gear 1. Captain Stern is in gear 3. Beldar is in gear 3. Scrappy's in gear 2. I guess we're going to move Captain Stern. Going to go with the medium straight. What's that? Slide, spin, spin. Well, I don't want any of those. So we'll take a hazard, which would put him at 3 hazards. Slide, shift, hazard. Well, I think we're going to get rid of the slide and eat the hazard.
So you're at 4 hazards?
I'm at 4 hazards. Okay, so he's at 4 hazards now, but making some progress. Maybe I can get a shot off in the back. Probably not. No.
So he's in gear 3.
Okay, so we're activating mud, so he's in gear 3.
Yep, we're going to try a swerve and see if we can miss ourselves. I'm guessing not, but maybe. Yep, luckily we can miss ourselves.
Yeah. We decided we weren't counting the external exhaust housings and things like that. We're just dealing with the car body.
And he doesn't get any bonuses.
So it musses the top of his hood as he's flying underneath the jet engine.
Shift, shift, spin, spin, spin. And he's at 2 hazards. So he'll get rid of 2 of the spins and keep 1 and take a hazard.
That was a deft little maneuver there.
See if we can clip him. Probably not. Nope, I should have spun more.
I think that might be a little bit of a stretch, yeah.
Yeah, I should have spun more.
Well, I mean, he managed to skirt the rear end of the Landspeeder without getting clocked, so that's a victory in itself.
Yep.
Okay, well, Beldar here.
What's he gonna do?
Beldar's in gear 3. He's got 1 hazard. He's fired his death ray. I think Beldar's going to swerve.
So you're gonna sideswipe Leaf?
Perhaps. Perhaps that'll happen. Who knows what'll happen in this crazy old world.
Unless he's gonna go into the wall.
Shift, shift, shift. Slide. So we'll get rid of the hazard and the slide. We'll use the 1 shift to remove a hazard, because I think I'm going to get a hazard. So that puts him at 0 hazards for the moment. Kind of like that, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Take that, Leaf. So what gear is Leaf in?
2.
All right, Beldar is in gear 3. T-bone or sideswipe is attacker's current gear plus size modifier. So 3 dice for me. 2 hits.
Well, I may as well smash back because I'm dead.
Oh, did Leaf just get killed?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 2 hits.
Okay.
Let's recap what just happened here. So, okay, so Beldar smashed into Leaf.
Mm-hmm.
Leaf only had 2 health points, so he's wiped out.
Mm-hmm.
But he did 2 points back. He got a critical hit on Beldar. Beldar has 4 hull points left, so he's down to 2. I take 2 hazards.
Mm-hmm.
Leaf is wrecked.
Mm-hmm.
He does a short, straight move forward.
Mm-hmm.
He becomes a wreck. So
Mm-hmm.
he flips over and becomes an obstacle.
Mm-hmm.
I roll a 6+. So Leaf doesn't have any grenades or mines or rockets or anything, so he would just explode on a 6+. But if he does explode,
He's
then
gonna
he would-
kill my guys.
Oh, well, maybe it'll happen.
He doesn't
5,
explode.
he doesn't. Okay. So Leaf just becomes an obstacle. Poor Leaf. He was a gentle bud. Okay, so Duke was only in Gear 1. Mud has moved in Gear 2. Beldar has moved in Gear 2. Captain Stern has moved in Gear 2. And so now we're at Scrappy. Scrappy is the last one left in Gear 2 to move. Scrappy is in Gear 2, has 3 hazards. Scrappy's just going to do a short straight and try to avoid hitting that sand person. Okay. Slide, hazard, shift, shift. Okay. We're going to eliminate these 2 and just eat that hazard. So Scrappy's at 4 hazards, Gear 2, moves forward, and that is the end of Gear 2.
So on to Gear 3.
Captain Stern is in Gear 3 with 4 hazards. So we're going to do the good old medium straight. Roll 3 dice, try to get some shifts, get those hazards down. Shift, shift, shift. Okay, I'm going to eliminate 3 hazards. So that takes him down to 1 hazard. And goes about right there. Okay, well, since Duke was in Gear 1, so he can't move right now. And
Leaf is dead.
Leaf is dead. Leaf is an obstacle. That leaves Mud.
We're going to try a gentle turn. So Mud is with 3 hazards, Gear 3.
Come on, Mud. What's that? I see 1 shift in there.
We'll go up to 4 hazards.
Ooh. Do you think he could slide?
And spin.
Yeah, he probably could do okay.
And take 3 hazards. I mean, that's all I can do.
Yeah, all right.
Or I can take the 2 hazards and not slide.
Well, either way, you're going to have to do a wipeout test.
Yeah, I think I'd rather, because the slide's going to take me right into the wall.
Okay.
So I'll take the 2 hazards and do a spin. And that's before the attack phase?
Well, you didn't collide with anything.
Right.
So you can shoot, and then there's the wipeout step.
Okay, see if I
So-
can hit you.
I think so.
Okay. So I can shoot
I think you can
that
shoot
one.
Scrappy.
I will shoot Scrappy then. So you're in Gear 3.
All right.
I get
two
2
attack
D6,
dice.
Yeah.
That's a
2,
critical, so that's 2.
so 1 hit.
Yeah, 1 hit. So that's, yeah, Scrappy's down to 3 hull points now. Now you need to make a wipeout test.
So I roll 1 die.
Yeah, equal to or over the vehicle's current gear to succeed. What gear are you in?
3.
Okay. Okay, so you succeeded.
Go down to Gear 1.
Reduce current gear to 1, remove all hazards, and then I get to spin you somewhere. I'm not going to because you could just pivot out of it at the beginning of your next turn anyway. No point. I'm going through the exercise in futility. So what's Beldar at? Beldar has 2 hull points. He's in Gear 3. He's got 2 hazards. I'd really like to do the long,
Yeah, do the long. Do the long.
but I think we'll do the medium.
So that's exactly right.
Spin, 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 shift, shift. I'm going to get rid of 2 spins and keep 1.
So that's 1 hazard.
So that puts him at 3 hazards. spin. And that's everybody in this gear.
Okay.
Anybody in gear 4?
No.
So we clear everything.
Okay, yay. I get a turn again.
Okay, so for your first activation in turn 3, we're in turn 3, gear 1.
We're going to do mud.
Mud.
And we're going to do medium.
Mud. So what's Mud's status right now?
Mud is in gear 1, no hazards, 4 hull points. He gets 1 free shift because he's using a medium and he's in gear 1. I need a little spin. Just a little spin.
I don't see any spins.
Nope, but I do have 3 shifts. I'm going to take a hazard and try for my spin again. I got my spin. Get rid of those 2. And gear up to 2 and take a hazard. So that puts me gear 2, hazards 2, and I can use my spin.
Okay.
And then we're going to shoot you. That's a 2d6. And you're in gear 3.
I am. One hit. And I
No
evaded.
hits. Had to try.
Okay, so that's Mud. Your name is Mud. Actually, he pretty deftly maneuvered out of that situation there earlier, so.
Out of which situation?
Well, when he was like literally under the exhaust pipe of your speeder, your Landspeeder.
So what are you going to do?
Well, I think we're going to try a turn and hope that that's sufficient to get where we need to go. All right. Shift, hazard, hazard. Where are we at? I'm only at 1 hazard.
So you're just going to take your hazard?
So I'm going to get rid of 1 and eat the other one.
Okay.
So he'll be in gear 3, 2 hazards, and go screaming around the corner. Okay, and here on the other side of the board we have Duke and Tweaky. So he's going to drive out of that obstacle. So you're going to do a hard turn.
I'm going to do a hard turn.
And drive you out of the wall.
I get 1 free shift. And he has no hazards. And he has 4 hull points. 2 shifts and a spin. So he'll get rid of the spin. And gear up 2 gears. And take 2 hazards. So he'll be in gear 3. And I don't think I'm in range. No.
Oh, you're going to shoot poor Beldar.
Oh, I feel so sorry for Beldar. He's the one who killed Leaf.
Okay. Let's see, what's Beldar? What's his situation? He's in gear 3. I think he's going to go full throttle and see what happens. So hand me the long, please.
You're going to crash right into me, T-bone me, I think.
It does appear that way.
Yep. Okay, roll your dices.
Shift, shift. So we'll get rid of that, and we will shift up into gear 4. Take a hazard for doing so. Puts him at 3 hazards, so he's in gear 4. He's going to come screaming this way until he slams into your dude.
Okay.
He's in gear 4.
Uh-huh.
But you're 1 class heavier, 1 or 2 classes lighter, -1 or -2 attack dice. So gear 4, -1 because he's lighter. So 3 attack dice. Are you going to smash back or are you going to evade?
And I'll smash back. I get 4 then, right?
You would do your attacker's current gear, whatever that is,
plus
plus
1.
size modifier, and because you're
1
class higher, you get +2 actually.
Oh, okay.
You're going to smash back?
Yep.
Okay. So
3 hits.
3 hits. 4, 5, 6, 7 hits on poor Beldar. So Beldar has gone back to his ancestors.
But I take 3 damage.
But you do take 3 damage.
So I have 1 health point left.
Now, Beldar is a wreck, and he might explode.
Yeah, that would be bad for me, because then I'd be dead.
Short, straightforward, become a wreck. He becomes a wreck. Becomes an obstacle. And then 6+ to explode. Okay. And then
Scrappy.
Scrappy. I think Scrappy is going to do perhaps a turn. I'm trying not to crash into my own people. Does that look about right? Roll some dice. Shift, 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 spin, slide. Scrappy's at 4 hazards, so we can't get too fancy here. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And then get rid of 1 hazard. So I'm down to 3 hazards. And for the attack step, Scrappy is going to dislodge her mines. We're now in turn 3, gear 2. And who has pole position?
I do.
Okay. Okay, so Mud, and what's Mud's status right now?
He's got 2 hazards, gear 2, 4 health points.
Okay.
Mud doesn't have to go around the track.
No, he doesn't.
He does not. So he's going to try to head you off.
Okay.
So he's going to do a hard turn. He's in gear 3, which is bad on a hard turn because he takes a hazard. But
All right.
that means he can come around and get you from the other side.
All right. He's going to try to avoid the minefield.
Yeah, he doesn't like that bomb field. So he takes a hazard, which puts him at 3 hazards. See if we can get rid of some of our hazards. Shift, shift, spin. Okay, I'm going to take a hazard and re-roll. Which might be bad, but... So we can get rid of those 2. And we're going to gear up to 3 and take another hazard, which means he's at 5 hazards. Is he in medium? I don't think so. No. Okay.
All right.
So will you give him a token?
Mm-hmm.
And take off my template, please? What are you going to do?
Okay, Captain Stern is currently sitting at gear 3, 2 hazards, 7 hold points. I think we'll try a gentle turn.
He's in gear 3, right?
He is.
Okay, so no bonuses, no damages, no hazards.
Spin, shift, spin. Get rid of those. Eat that spin, I guess.
That's not bad because it'll let you straighten out even more.
Right.
So you take a hazard.
Right, take a hazard.
So you can do that. Straight shot next time.
Okay, do Carbiner and Tweaky. Doing a medium straight, huh?
Medium straight. And he gets 1 free shift. Shifts are always good. So 2 shifts. He's in gear 3. I might keep the spin. And get rid of 1 hazard. Take 1 hazard, so it's a wash. But I think I would like that spin, actually. Because otherwise I'm headed straight for your bomb. And I don't really want to go there. So we're going to turn just a touch. But not too much, because we want to be able to shoot you.
Right. Looks good.
All right. So I get 3d6s. And you get 3 because you're in gear 3, right?
Right. Scrappy's only in gear 2.
Oh, even better.
2.
So 2.
Okay, so 2 hits on Scrappy. So Scrappy had 1 whole point gone. Now there's 2 more gone. So Scrappy is hanging on. Her poor desert tug is falling apart. Scrappy's going to do a turn.
Turn.
All right.
Lots of shifts. 4 shifts.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we're going to get rid of 2 hazards and shift up to 3, which gives us 1 hazard back. So that puts Scrappy at gear 3, 1 hull point, and 2 hazards. Okay, so for your first activation, are we in
Gear
3?
Yeah.
We're in gear 3. And your first activation is going to be
Carbiner.
Mr. Duke.
He's going to do a medium straight and hope for a spin. And he gets 1 free shift because he's in gear 3. Getting rid of the slide. Going to gear up to 4 and get rid of 1 hazard so it's a wash.
Okay.
So he's at 2 hazards, gear 4.
You want to move him?
Yes, please. And he's definitely not in medium range.
Okay, so Captain Stern in gear 3. Can't do a long, unfortunately. I can do a medium. Roll some dice.
You get a free shift.
I get a free shift. Shift, spin, spin. Well, I'm going to get rid of that 1 spin. I'm going to cancel 1 hazard, and I'm going to keep that 1 spin.
So it's a wash.
So it's a wash. And then there's Mud. So he's sneaking around the back, huh?
Yeah, we're going to go for the full throttle.
Okay.
I hope we don't hit the wall, but I think we are going to. No, not quite.
All right. Yeah, he just skimmed it.
Okay. So he doesn't get any bonuses, and he doesn't get any hazards. We're going to keep the spin, get rid of that. So we're going to keep the spin, but the shift will cancel out the
So how many hazards you got?
5.
Oh, 5.
What is Scrappy going to do?
Scrappy's going to do a turn.
Okay. Oh, he's coming after me, I see.
Shift, 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 spin, spin. We're going to get rid of 1 spin. Going to get rid of 2 hazards. So that takes Scrappy down to 0.
0 hazards, nice.
And then take a spin, which takes back up to 1.
Mm-hmm.
Like that.
Okay. Do you have anyone in gear 4?
You know, I do not have anyone in gear 4. Beldar.
Beldar
the Dead was in gear 4 at one point, but no
Okay.
longer.
I'm in gear 4.
He was in gear 4 right before his sudden deceleration. You're in gear 4? Who's that?
Both of them.
Oh, really? Your speeder is in gear 4? Okay. So Mud first, I guess, huh?
Yeah, there's not a lot I can do in gear 4. Okay, I'm doing a turn. Which means he gets a hazard. Which puts him at 6. And hope for some lots and lots of shifts. 2 shifts. Well, I'll take a hazard.
So you're at 7 hazards. You're going to push it and roll.
Mm-hmm. Shift, spin, spin. Well, either way, I'm going to have 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to keep a spin. Get rid of that. And get rid of 2 hazards, so get rid of 1, so I'll be at 6. And then he should be able to hit you.
Looks like it.
Okay. And he gets
2 dice.
2d6. And you get 3.
3. So that's
2
2.
hits. 2 hits.
So you did 2 hits. Okay, so Captain Stern is down another 2, so he's at 5 hull points left. Mud shot at Captain Stern, did a couple of hits with a critical hit. Now you have to do your wipeout. What is your current gear?
4.
So you got to roll 4, 5, or 6 to not flip. 2, you flipped.
Okay.
You take 2 hull points.
Uh-huh.
Then go medium straight.
Okay.
Are you dead?
No.
Okay.
That's my first 2 hull points damage.
Oh, okay.
Medium straight. Oops.
Right.
Medium straight. Okay.
Reduce to gear 1.
Yep.
Remove all hazard tokens.
Okay.
And then I get to point you somewhere. But
Okay.
you can pivot anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Right.
But just for grins, I'll point you over here.
Okay. So, carbiner now. I don't really want to run into that bomb thing that you left there. So
The
I'm going to try
minefield?
to veer around it. Which it looks like I can.
Okay.
I do take a hazard for doing that in gear 4. Which brings him up to 3.
All right. Roll them bones.
Maybe I can get a spin. Well, I got
Spin,
a
slide, spin.
So we'll take a hazard and see if we can get some shifts. If not, well, we might be flipping with him too. Well, that'll get rid of that. Take 1 hazard for the spin.
Okay.
Puts him at 5 hazards. You want to move him for me? And then we're going to spin. And then I'm going to shoot Belder. Or Scrappy.
Shoot Scrappy.
Yep. I'm going to shoot Scrappy.
All right. 3 dice. Scrappy gets 3 of these. 2 hits.
2 hits.
So Scrappy needs some evades here. I thought I was going to do a full throttle into you there for a minute, but it didn't happen. 1. I got 1 evade. It wasn't enough. Scrappy has lost her last hull point.
So now you
the
do
desert tug. Short, straightforward.
Okay.
Become a wreck.
See if you blow up.
Does not. So
Okay.
that's the end of Scrappy.
Well, I don't think I can catch up to you. You're definitely going to cross the finish line before I do, so we can probably call it.
You want to call it? You don't think that you don't think Mud would be able to close in and do some damage?
He might, but I think you'll get across the finish line before I can finish you off. Because how many health points do you have left?
I have 5.
Yeah, I don't think I can get rid of 5 health points before you get across the
Okay.
finish line. Because Carbiner only has 1 health point left. Mud has 2.
That's 2.
He's only in gear 1,
All right.
so...
So we will call it, but that was a pretty close game. Yeah, Duke and Tweaky are still hanging in there by 1 point.
Yeah.
Mud's got 2, and then Captain Stern's got 5. He kind of got out into the lead and sort of stayed there.
I got hurt when I hit that wall because it did so much damage and got me stuck for
Right.
the rest of the round.
Right. Well, okay, folks, thanks very much for watching. As always, we hope you enjoyed our Gaslands Landspeeder race and the ensuing carnage. If you like our content, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please give this video a big thumbs up and or visit us online at our website, skirmishwargames.com.